everyone, I'm Cameron Arter.
And I'm Maddie Donabauer. Welcome back to the 5th edition of Prior Crier for the 2023 through 2024 school year.
Let's take a look at what's to come in the first edition of 2024. Saving and loan robbery causes school lockdown. The war in Israel causes discrimination.
Musicians compete at OMEA Solo and Ensemble. School works to improve attendance. First Federal Savings and Loans was recently robbed.
This event triggered a district-wide lockdown and a police chase to catch the culprit.
Lily Donabauer has the story.
It was an ordinary Thursday morning at First Federal Savings and Loans when 43-year-old suspect Richard Poole entered and robbed the teller around 9 a.m.
Bank president and CEO Terry Bumpus says Poole came in pretending to be blind, wearing sunglasses and holding a cane. He had the teller count money for him when things escalated.
When she went to hand it back to him, then he said, "Well, that's not really what I'm here for anyways. I'm here to rob you." And he opened up his coat and he had a big gun in his belt, and he didn't put his hands on it or anything. He just showed it to her.
Sheriff's deputy and school resource officer Annette Mercer heard about the robbery over her radio and immediately jumped into action. She says in situations like this, the police go through multiple processes to identify the suspect.
One of the most important ones is just eyewitness testimony. Who was it? What was the person wearing? From there, we start pulling cameras and trying to get good video footage of whoever it was. A lot of times we'll post on Facebook, like in this situation, we posted on Facebook, and the sheriff asked for any assistance people could provide in IDing us.
When high school principal Brent Gary was first told about the robbery, he put the school into a modified lockdown. Students had to stay in their classrooms and no one was allowed to leave the school. Gary says the lockdown went well overall.
I tried to be very visible with the students and the staff. I did most of our announcements over the speaker so everybody could know what was going on. I didn't want anybody to panic. There was no reason to panic. And typically in a lockdown, that's what I'll do. I will address the entire building because everybody needs to know what's going on. But the students reacted great.
Of the $3,400 stolen, police have recovered $3,000 of it. He has been indicted on aggravated robbery, a first-degree felony. Prior Crier, I'm Lily Donabauer.
Thank you, Lily. I'll be honest, at first I was feeling kind of scared.
So was I, but when I realized we weren't in actually any danger, I was fine. I mean, we just ended up playing games in my Spanish class.
I was actually in my Greek mythology class, and a lot of students were frightened. That's because we weren't really aware of the actual situation. But after we figured it out, it was kind of goofy.
I know, the way he went and got a tattoo later in the day and how he dressed up. I don't know. It was good practice, though, for any future situations we might encounter, though.
I suppose you're right.
The terrorist organization Hamas invaded Israel in October, sparking a war between Israel and the militant group in the West Bank and Gaza Strip.
As a result of high Palestinian civilian deaths, the war has become increasingly more controversial on the world stage.
This has led to soaring numbers of both anti-Semitic and Islamophobic instances here in the United States.
Bipasa Sutar has the story.
The terrorist organization Hamas invaded Israel on October 7th, sparking a war in the Gaza Strip. As the rest of the world looks on, the war becomes more and more controversial. In the United States, instances of anti-Semitism have increased by 400%, according to the Anti-Defamation League. The Council of American Islamic Relations have received 2,171 reports of Islamophobia. Government and world history teacher Mike Bargo said the most recent problem stems from the formation of modern Israel in 1948.
A new modern Israel in a piece of land that was controlled by Great Britain as a protectorate, but that land was Palestine. The Palestinians are primarily Muslims. They're not Jews. They have a different culture, a different religion. And now, all of a sudden, their land was being given over to Israel.
Junior Olivia Griffith says that she doesn't support the war, but believes that Israel is justified in its retaliation against Palestine. She also says that she has seen anti-Semitism towards Jewish creators online.
In cities, people like or not even Israelis, just Jewish people in general have been like attacked in just hate crimes, and also Islam, because there's definitely a lot of Islamophobia, especially in America, after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. I know that's definitely a large result of that. But I feel like it's probably been escalated.
Like many other young people, Junior Ashley Moore has been using social media to raise awareness about the conflict and advocating for the Palestinian people. She says that people are using the conflict to justify their beliefs.
If you take the side of Palestine, or if you say Israel is not justified in what it's doing, but yeah, there are some people who just are taking it as, gosh, I hate Jewish people, or gosh, I hate Muslim people, when it wasn't even a fact about religion.
As the war leads into the new year, it will continue to divide those who support either side of the conflict. However, there are still those who are working to prevent hate caused by the war. I'm Bipasa Sitar for Prior Crier.
Thank you, Bipasa.
I think that story shows us that through these turbulent times, it is important to remember to be kind to your fellow men.
I agree.
Let's take a look at some other recent events. Both band and choir students performed this past Saturday, the 20th, at OMEA Solo and Ensemble. Students presented either a solo or a small group to a judge, on which they received a score 1 to 5. The highest score is a 1. All but 2 of the students who participated received a 1 or a 2. One of the ensembles that performed was the Middle C Honors Choir, who received a 1 for the song, I'm Going to Sing.
While Centerbrook showed much improvement overall on the Ohio Department of Education report card this past September, one area where the school lacked was in attendance. This past school year, 31.2% of high school students were considered chronically absent. This year, the school has made a goal to fight this issue. Student Service and Family Liaison Officer Tim Rio says that the school is working to talk to students more one-on-one as well as have more communication with families. The school also implemented the PBIS system to make school a more rewarding and fun environment. So far, the school has made improvements, and Rio says the school is trending in the right direction.
Congratulations to the students who have participated in OMEA, and thank you to those in the school who are working to help more students succeed through attendance.
I think that wraps up this edition of Prior Crier.
Before you go, don't forget to purchase your copy of the Trojan Crier for $1 tomorrow. You can read more about savings and loans, robbery, the war in Israel, OMEA Solo and Ensemble, and attendance.
Also, check out the official Trojan Crier and Prior Crier Instagram accounts to stay updated. They are linked below.
For Prior Crier, I'm Cameron Arter.
And I'm Maddie Donabauer, and we'll see you next time.